Hi, Garmlings. I know what you're thinking, okay? Normally you take 47 years to get these out. What the fuck? But since we have literally 0 days in between these, I'm absolutely locked in right now. And yes, we're going back to the old takeaways format. After I posted the last one where I did it live, the people wanted to hang me from the rafters. They wanted me dead. And listen, man, I get it, okay? So we're going back to the OG format. We don't got much time. So let's get into this quick. Dear God. You guys looked like if a random face-it stack somehow made the major. Like, I don't want to be mean, but this might be the worst major performance I have ever seen in my entire life. Props to them for making the major in the first place. Being a 5-man Swedish team, they probably are going to make decent money, sticker money from hardcore Swedish CS fans. It was bad, okay? The performance was bad. They had 1 overtime map against Imperial, and if we look at the other 3 maps they played, they totaled 7 rounds. 7 rounds over 3 maps. How is that possible? What are we doing, boys? The only redeeming quality at some points was Adam B. Otherwise, it was bad all around. Like, what is there even really to take away besides this was a disaster class? But like I said earlier, I don't want to go too crazy hard because at the end of the day, they still made the major. It's good to even get there in the first place, but holy fuck, man. Fluxo 03 pickers. This round's on me, baby. We're all ball knowers, every single one of us, okay? My initial problems with Fluxo going into this is I thought Imperial were very bad, and Fluxo simply couldn't beat them. So if I thought Imperial were that bad, and Fluxo was worse than them, it just made sense. Now, we did get kind of lucky. My 2 03s were Chungus and Fluxo, and they played each other. But in that matchup, you would think Fluxo should be able to come out on top. They just didn't look great. They looked better than Metasport, don't get me wrong. Like, all of their games were fairly close. Besides the last map against Chungus, they played close against Complexity. I don't know if that's really a flex. You know, played semi-close to FlyQuest, got 7 rounds, better than what Metasport was doing. Got their 3 map total in 1 game at least. You know, they kind of threw that series against Chungus. They could have won. I don't really have many takeaways here. Normally, tier 2 Brazilian teams either have the most generational unexpected runs you've ever seen, or they bomb out like this, and I feel like most of the time it's bombing out 03. I don't think I can put anyone but Complexity in 90%. Even though Complexity is going to have to play with Junior, I'm just simply a believer in JT's system. Halzerk really mattered that much, huh? I just realized you guys have been getting flashbanged by that picture back there in my fan. I hope that wasn't too blinding. Anyways, do I apologize for saying Complexity 90% chance to make it through, put them in my 3-0. No. What happened, boys? There's no way you should have crumbled that badly. I get the first map. Nico Dawes, greatest major performance of all time. What are you gonna do? We beat Fluxo, lose to NRG, and we get 0-2'd by Tyloo. Lose Train. I mean, as soon as they lose Train, it's cooked. There's just no way. Train is their home map, bro. And like, I didn't think Junior played that bad, but the entire team just looked dysfunctional. They weren't playing off each other well at all. It was so disjointed, man. You compare this to how they were playing at Bucharest. I mean, the whole situation with Halzerk just sucks, man. Like, they should have been better than this, don't get me wrong. Even if they did make it through this stage, I don't think anyone really expected them to make it that much further with Junior as a stand-in. What more needs to be said besides Halzerk is just the GOAT, apparently. He is the glue that holds this team together, which is crazy because in 2024, I thought he was overrated. He's apparently the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I feel bad for the team. Your home city bombing out like this, of course, sucks. And all I really have to say is I hope they look better next season. Hopefully, we'll have a full Complexity at the Budapest Major, and maybe then they can go on a run. Hey guys, it's me, Garmour. And I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I got bailed out of prison by some man named Ralph. And well, me and Ralph are good friends now, but he said I have to pay him back. And the issue is, I spent all of my money on Quanda before the split, so I have no money. The wallet's empty. But I do have a solution to this. To raise money to pay for my bail, let's take a look at today's sponsor.
Best project with cases. Already 8 years of awesome drops. Forest Drop. More than 200 cases to choose from. The most top promo codes and a lot of freebies.
Along with that, if you use code Garmour, you'll get a 40% bonus on your first deposit. Thank you to Forest Drop for sponsoring the video. Imperial, more like dumb soggy cereal. Imperial, actually, I thought had a chance to reverse sweep and make it to the next stage. Their first two matchups were tough. They lost to Bait, who went through 3-0. Lost to Amiga, who went through 3-1. And I was always high on Amiga, so that was a tough matchup for them. Beat Metasport, and then lose to Legacy, which is tough. You lose to Legacy, then you get called online garbage. I mean, salt in the wound. You just pack it up and leave, guys. Don't even think about this tournament. Imperial's just the same. Like, they're always the same. They're just mid. They're really good in tier 2 South America. Can't do shit anywhere else. Like, they're whatever. I do gotta say, they could have beaten Bait in that first game, and they threw horrendously. Try was not playing well. He woke up later in the other games, but in that first game, he looked pretty rough. And there was so many rounds they threw against Bait. They should have won that game easily. Try and Descenti are great talents. No Way is, I think, okay. This was a disaster class tournament from Shay. I feel bad for Shay. I feel like he's like Skulls. Because I'd be watching this dude play, and it's generally pretty awful. But he'd just be smiling the whole time. Like, I can't hate him. Sure, you're dropping 3 kills a game, but God, that smile, bro. Like, his smile is helping my spirit watching from home. So you can't kick him. I'm not allowing it. But I think a lot of this comes down to the team isn't very disciplined, and that's kind of Vinny's fault. I don't think they have a very good structure. Their T sides are atrocious in my opinion. So my conclusion, and what my conclusion has been for this team in forever, they will never do anything with Vinny calling. They need a serious IGL, and he's not it. Chungus Town. Oh, fool! Would have put you 0-3. Only fools put you 0-3. I knew you would win. I love these boys. Sure, you went out 1-3. You won a game just to fuck people's pick'ems. God bless, okay? I'll always respect an Asian team for doing that. And to be honest, going into that game against Fluxo, I kind of did favor them. They didn't look that bad against Heroic. They didn't look that bad against Legacy. They at least looked competitive, and I guess Fluxo looked competitive in their games as well. So listen, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this series against Fluxo was a wild watch. Felt like I was watching, like, it was unironically baby GIF beating each other, and man, they actually could have beaten Lin Vision in the game afterwards. I mean, it was a cinema tier 2 Asian CS game. Map 3 Ancient goes to OT. They tried, man. What more can be said? Listen, maybe I did have them in my 0-3, but I can't be mad about them winning a game, and they were close to being 2-2. I respect the boys. I respect the boys for putting in work and trying. I just watched the worst fucking throne map I have ever seen in my entire life. Oh my God. I'm recording this before Inferno ends. They're currently down 11-5, but I can't wait any longer. I can't believe what I just watched. It actually is unbelievable to me. OC couldn't hit a shot. Bro didn't get a kill in like a full overtime because he was so goddamn mad. They couldn't hold B site to save their lives. Not a single T round was won by either team in the first 2 overtimes. It's 12 CT rounds in a row. They were up 10-5 at some point. It's 12-11. They have a 3v2 post plane on B. How are we losing that, bro? How are we losing that? I just watched this team crumble in real time. In real time, I just watched them crumble. I've never seen a team look more dejected in my entire life. Like, I feel gross. I feel so gross right now. Just even knowing this team exists, I can't even talk about it anymore. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm going off the leash. I'm about to get extremely fucking racist. Sadly, for the sake of time, so I can get this out before Stage 2 starts, I'll be skipping over FlyQuest, Tyloo, Wildcard, and Legacy. I'm assuming FlyQuest and Wildcard win those games. If FlyQuest threw a 2-0 lead in back-to-back majors, it would be tough. And I'll know the results. I'm still doing my pick'ems at the end of this video, so I'll know the results, then I'll talk about it a little bit, but I hope you guys can understand. Now, I'm gonna slightly gloss over all the winning teams because their stories aren't over yet. They're still playing in this tournament. I feel like it is insane to do, like, full takeaways on them if they're still playing. Heroic 3-0. I mean, we all expected this. They look good. They look great. They looked like Heroic. Thank you for not ruining my pick'ems and everyone else's pick'ems. Bait 3-0. Bait put me in my place. My hot take was they wouldn't make it through this stage. And oh boy, did they ever make it through this stage. They fried. They looked incredibly good. If you looked at the recent matchups, they've been like the best team in Tier 2 Europe, so it makes sense they would go through. I personally was a little worried due to how they have historically played on LAN. They played at a LAN before this and lost a big twice, so I was a little skeptical, but they proved me wrong. And then Namiga, Betboom, and OG all going through 3-1. I'd say the biggest surprise out of all of them is Namiga. Not to me though. I've been an Namiga believer since day one. Zui, Khan, Xanter, these boys are dogs, okay? The individual ceiling of all the players on that team is so incredibly high. I knew they had it in them, and they look good. I like Lear screaming at people. It's entertaining. Betboom could have gone 3-0. They looked very good in the series against Wildcard to close out their stage 1, but they choked against FlyQuest. Well, they got blown out against FlyQuest. Axile looks not great. But Siren had the most generational stage 1 of all time. He was their highest rated player by a mile. I do not know where the fuck that came from. But I always believed in Boomage to lock the boys in for a major. Him and Stanislaw were like the 2 IGLs I believed in the most going into this stage. And then OG. I was a little worried about OG because their individuals all can tend to pop off, but they also can all just fall off a cliff. But we got the OG where the individuals popped off, especially Nico Dawes. Holy fucking shit. He was insane. Highest rated map in major history. He continued to be insane. He ended stage 1 with a 1.7 rating. Donk who, Zywoo who. Nico Dawes is the GOAT. Along with that, literally every fucking player on the team kind of went nuclear besides Buzz, and Buzz is an anchor, so it's like whatever. Spook was nuclear. Kristen was nuclear, especially in their last game. Fiku was also very good. I mean, this team just popped the fuck off. The individuals were all hitting. And I mean, if they keep that up, which we'll have to see against the better teams in stage 2, they could still do work, man. Guys, we've gone to the gym. I've had an outfit change. And goddamn wildcard through to Legacy. You have got to be shitting me. NACS is in ruin. 0 out of 3 NA teams made stage 2, bro. I'm gonna lose it. But the good news, you can always trust Mr. Garmour to get you guys at least 5 correct, okay? We got 5 correct here. It's currently map 3 of FlyQuest Hailu. I'm making this now because it doesn't matter who wins. It's not gonna change anything in my stage 2 pick'ems. So we got 5. We're going to the next stage. Maybe we'll have 6 right. We'll have to see. You know, thank you to all the doubters for making it possible. I just gotta say, you guys don't understand the genius of Complexity 3-0 and NRG instead of Bait. Even though NRG missed, it was genius because I was never gonna put Bait in 3-0 anyways, so it would have just been wasted points. At least with NRG, I had hope that maybe they could make it through. With Bait, there would have been no hope after they went 3-0. In Complexity, my thought process was these boys are goated, they're gonna make it through. But with Junior standing, they could also look diggity dog shit. And so I'll put them in 3-0. If they start off hot, they go 3-0. Let's go. I get a point. If not, then it doesn't really matter because no one else who I was going to put 3-0 in there I was never going to put Bait in there. So I lose the point after the first BO1. And they don't make it at all, so it doesn't really matter. It would have been worse if I put them in here. Anyways, going to stage 2, you guys are going to be disappointed. I know you're going to want me to do something nuclear, and I'm just not going to. I'm going to do the safest 3-0 pick possible and do Falcons. I think they play heroic in the first matchup no matter what. If we go to Blast, and I've been doing mad research, guys. I've been thinking out the ass for this one. It doesn't really matter who wins between FlyQuest and Tyloo. It's gonna be Falcons heroic no matter what. All this matchup changes is the bottom 3 matchups. That's about it. Let's say Tyloo goes through, right? Falcons heroic first game. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a crazy trap game for Falcons. I still think Falcons win, but that's a crazy trap game along with FaZe Bait. That's also gonna be a very good game. I could see, honestly, either of these being upsets. And then everything else down here is going to be fucking A. We'll have to see, man. So, I'm going to do Falcons even though they play heroic in the 3-0. I think they're, like, multiple levels above everyone else here. And in my second one, I'm once again going to be boring. I'm picking FaZe. Simple FaZe are going to lock the fuck in and do 3-0, baby. I know they haven't looked great. They lost to Heroic with Skulls as a stand-in, along with Simple's first event with the team. I think with Rain back, they'll be better. And if they play Heroic again, I think that they would win. It's tough to say, but I think FaZe with their full team and Simple is probably better than everyone else here. You still got Kerrigan calling. You still have Elige and Frozen on the team. Like, they're still going to be very good. So I got to put them 3-0 with Falcons. I think there's a very low chance they play. I think it's damn near 0 if they both go 2-0. And I mean, even if they do, I guess I'd take the 1 point. But I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to be boring once again. Guys, the first major I go to, it has to be a diamond coin. So I'm going to be a bitch. Give me Lin Vision. Give me Legacy. I feel like I don't got to explain that very much. In the past 2 majors, I know it's a little bit weird with the stages now. In the past 2 majors, when you go from the opening stage to the next stage, both majors, the 0-3 teams in the next stage were teams that barely squeaked through 3-2 and did not look that good. In my opinion, that's Lin Vision and Legacy. They somehow made it through, you know, like, congratulations to them, but I didn't think either one of these teams looked particularly good at all, and I think they're probably gonna get sunned by every other team here. I don't see them winning a match. And moving on, I'm gonna go by levels of confidence for the 3-1, 3-2 advanced. The most confident team is Heroic. I think that first game against Falcons is tough, but I also do think they're just gonna simply sweep after they lose that first one. I would not be surprised to see them 3-1. I mean, they're a top 10 team in the world objectively at this point. They're very, very good. Now, my next slot, it gave me, everyone's down low on them, I'm not. Give me 3D fucking Max, baby. The Maca Glaze train will not stop. It will not stop, okay? They looked really bad at honestly the past 2 events, but that is against the best teams in the world. Let me show you. We look at 3D Max, they lose to G2, which it's not a great look. G2 still has good players on the team. I know they have Hades Standard and everything, but like, they're not awful. They beat Legacy. This was an awful series to watch. They lose to Gamer Legion, whatever. Here they lose to FaZe, beat Big, lose to Gamer Legion. Guys, Gamer Legion and FaZe are both borderline top 10 teams. The only top 10 teams in this stage are Falcons, probably FaZe, and Heroic, and it's not like they're gonna play those teams like every single time. They fried at Bucharest. I know it was a while ago. They've been really bad the past 2 events, but here they looked very good, and I'm banking on them looking like this going into this, which you could even argue for them to be 3-0 if they look like that. I don't think they'll look that insane, but like maybe a level below. I think they're gonna make it through. I have faith in the team. The next team I have the most confidence in is Furia. I really liked what I saw from them at Astana. They looked bad at Dallas, but it was kind of like an EF situation where they just had simply no time in between events at all. So that takes off some of the blame. They did look worse. Yakinder looked a shit ton worse. Molodoy still looks solid. I think Fallen in his anchor spots was okay. He was a lot better at Astana than he was at Dallas, but easily the worst player at Dallas was Yakinder, and I think for the most part Yakinder can farm these teams. He's not great against super good teams, but he should be able to farm here. I like this new Furia roster. Molodoy's farming is basically what I'm saying. Next, honestly, out of all these teams here, give me MIBR. MIBR is weird because I think they're very mid in tier 1, but like they also consistently do pretty decent at events. We look at MIBR. At Astana, they lose to Furia, but they beat VP. They beat a Pain that has looked absolutely lost lately. Lose to Furia, lose to Mongols, and beat a G2. These are not bad results at all. They can't beat Furia to save their lives, but otherwise they looked pretty good. Here they lose to Liquid and Na'Vi and beat Saw. That's fine, in my opinion. This is just, like, what are you gonna do? Here they beat Tyloo, beat Furia, lose to Gamer Legion, beat Namiga. MIBR is not a bad team. They consistently outperform my expectations because my expectations for them are at the goddamn floor, but I've seen enough from them to believe they're gonna go through, whether it's 3-1, 3-2. I think they have enough fuel in the tank, and that leaves me with 2 more spots. Who is it gonna be? I'll tell you this, it ain't gonna be VP. I love them, but it ain't gonna be M80. I've had enough of NACS this tournament already. It's been 1 stage. I've seen enough. I'm sorry, M80. I love you. Biased me would put you through. I do want to, bro, but dude, the NA teams have been so bad so far. They've been so bad. I also want to put Pain. I love this Pain roster. I love Namiga. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be Namiga. I've not liked what I've seen from Bet Boom. At points, they've looked very good. Axile's playing very bad. Stage 1, Siren had a life performance of 1.26 rating. I do not think he can keep that up. I really did like what I saw from OG. Bait also looked very strong. I'm biased towards M80 because it's M80. I think the smartest thing to do here, in my opinion, is Bait and OG. Kind of basic, but I've really liked what I've seen from both of these teams so far. I think that's what I gotta do, man. Garmour's trying to get this fucking diamond this year, fellas. Bait has looked very strong. I know that Nico Dawes had a 1.7 rating in stage 1. There's no way he keeps that up, but I still think he plays well. And it's not like it's just him. Everyone on the team has been playing very well. I think this makes the most sense to me. It's probably the most basic bitch bracket you can possibly make. At first glance, I like this the most, though. And I think this is what I'm going to go with. Okay, anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you later.